Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and Michaela's singing means that we are back in Lobby Bar for the week of February the 26th, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you again, as always. And Michaela, we've got a kind of a busy week coming up for us here. We're going out, hopefully, to see another Oscar pick, but we're up against the wire now. We've got like 13 days as of recording. Like, there's still like 8 movies that are not able to be watched. So we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. But that's okay. We're still going to make our best guesses ever because our Oscar Pick'em has gone live, Michaela. Last week I posted the prize package. It is better than ever, I think. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But
It is.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, it is. It is amazing. So, look, listen, people of all, this is actually really amazing because Brian has made some of this stuff himself, as well as we
True.
sourced it from some amazing local vendors. But this year might be my favorite because we do. I love the coasters, man. They're amazing, and you
The
did
co-
them.
the
You made
coaster's
them
pretty cool.
all.
The coaster's pretty cool. Yeah, it has our logo and it has all of the Best Picture nominees on there. We've got a pint glass that's etched with the Drink the Movies and the Oscars 2024. We've got a rocks glass coming everyone's way, some stickers, all that good stuff. I posted a picture of it onto our social medias a couple days ago. I'm probably going to keep spamming that like every other day until the Oscars start because the Oscar Pick'em is live, which we kind of mentioned last week, but I wanted to make sure everyone goes there and gets entered to win because it's free to enter. All you have to do is go and make your Oscar picks. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Whoever makes the most correct picks wins that prize package. That's all there is to it. So go to our website, www.drinkthemovies.com, and there's a link right there to go. It'll take you to the little survey thing, and you can fill that out and get entered to win. So that's pretty exciting stuff, I think. It's pretty exciting that we're almost done with our Oscar watches. Like I said, just a couple of things to see. I don't know if we're going to get to see them all. We're hearing that some of these might not be out to stream until like the summertime. So womp womp there, but we will do our best to pick those out. And we're doing something else fun this week, Michaela, over on our Patreon. We're voting for the next episode to come out, patreon.com/drink the movies. That's exciting. We've got a couple of episodes in the back burner back from the strike, so we're putting those up to a vote. Do you have any insights onto what do you think might win this week?
Ooh, no. I mean, people are interesting. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not the one to ask. The last time we talked about Patreon patrons voting, I picked a movie that we hadn't covered yet at all. So don't listen to me.
That's true.
But look, listen, people of all, it's like um first of all, our Patreon site's really cool. It's $2 a month is like the lowest paying like membership to get in. Once you're in the club, you get to vote on this really cool stuff. We get really cool content. We do a lot of extra things that are really fun. So if you're hearing about this and you're like, I would like a say in what Michaela and Brian do for Drink the Movies, jump on over to the Patreon site. It's really inexpensive and it really helps us bring a lot of extra content. And you get a say, which is super cool. I mean, in this day and age, we want to be voting. We want to be voting. We really want to say like, in the things that we're doing. And this is a great opportunity to do it. So head on over and make it happen.
That's right. Head on over. We've got our bonus episodes going out now for the Best Picture nominees. That is available over on Patreon. We've got a fun bonus episode coming this month, which we'll talk about in a little bit after we have our cocktail this week in the lobby bar, Michaela. So listen to this. I got an email from liquor.com. It's one of my favorite places to go on the internet for all things liquor and cocktail related. And they sent me this article. Well, not just me. They sent it to a lot of people, I'm sure. But it's apparently what kind of liquor are you according to your astrological sign. How great is this? So it breaks them down to all the things, right? Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. We don't care about any of those. We're going to go straight down to the Scorpios because those are the best, as you know, Michaela, for sure. And
Yes,
listen to
we
this.
are the
Listen to
best.
this. Listen to this. See if this sounds right. It says, you can be stubborn about your legacy, just like Scotch, but you're always there when someone needs you. Your straightforward nature works perfectly with the spirit that's best left alone. Your only fault is you're always concerned something better might be around. So Scotch is our drink of choice, Michaela, apparently for Scorpios around the world. What do you think? You'd said that this was the year of like bourbon and rye for you. Maybe you were in the right family there of whiskeys, but maybe
Yeah,
Scotch was your one for the year. What do you think about this? What do you think about our
maybe.
Scorpio Scotch revelation here?
So I think the horoscope is spot on. I mean, I think that
Okay,
we are
okay.
always looking to improve, right? We're always we are
Hmm.
stubborn. I think
Hmm.
you and I both leaving a legacy and
You are,
being
yes.
there when you need us.
I mean, we are,
I
yes.
I think yeah. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know if I like that. Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, so Scotch it is, and I'm a big fan of Scotch. There's a lot of different types of Scotch out there. Normally, people think of Scotch and they think of something that's super like smoky and peaty, and that's not always the case. That's definitely some certain ones out there. But I thought what we could do in honor of the Scorpios being the Scotch for the year, apparently according to liquor.com, we would put together one of the most tried and true uh, cocktails of them all. In terms of Scotch, this one's dead simple, so it's perfect for the lobby bar, and it's called the Rusty Nail. Michaela, have you ever had a rusty nail? Do you know what a rusty nail is? Are you familiar with it at all?
Unfortunately, I have had a rusty nail, but it was not the drink. It was something that required lots and lots of oversight by a doctor and
Mm,
like a tetanus shot. So
yeah, stay up on those tetanus shots,
avoid the
kids.
real rusty nails, but do not avoid this drink because this drink is tasty and apparently it's really stubborn, but is
Apparently,
always there when you
apparently
need
it's
it.
stubborn. It's always there when you need it. Absolutely. So this is a two ingredient cocktail. Very simple. So apparently this goes back to a lot of people think to 1937. It was they think it was created for the British Industries Fair Trade Show. And that makes sense, I guess. So 1937, but that's just kind of a rumor. A lot of people assume that to be true, but we know for a fact that this was officially mentioned the first time in writing, at least as far as we know, 1967, Old Mr. Boston's official bartender's guide. And it goes like this a little bit. You can play around with these amounts. It used to be like equal parts back in the day. It's going a little bit drier now, as things tend to do if you look at like classic martini recipes and stuff like that. But this is the Rusty Nail: 1.5 ounces of Scotch and 3/4 of an ounce of Drambuie. Drambuie is it's a liqueur. It's made from basically like Scotch and honey. It's like a honeyed Scotch, basically, is what it is. So it's kind of the Scotch, and you can use a nice blended Scotch. I imagine that's what they would have been using, either in the 1930s or in the late 1960s. So something like a Johnny Walker, something like a Dewar's, something like that. But it's going to give you just a hint of that Scotchy, smoky goodness. A little bit of honey there. Just serve that over a big ice cube and a rocks glass. You're good to go. What do you think about some honeyed Scotch, that Drambuie there in a Scotch? What do you think about a rusty nail, Michaela? Not the one you stepped on, but
Not the one I
the
stepped
drink.
on. No, this is much better, much superior in experience and flavor, actually, because the rusty nail didn't taste good either. This is really nice. Look, I love the kind of syrupiness of a good drambuie, right?
Mm, hmm.
Like, um, I we've added drambuie to a bunch of cocktails, and I've always kind of liked like it's got like a clean finish. It's syrupy, but and it's um sweet, but not super like not super sweet. I don't know how
Yeah,
to really explain it.
it's got a nice viscosity to it.
Yeah,
Just gives
that's
you
the
some
word.
mouthfeel, but it's not like hanging around like a
Right.
sugar, like a simple syrup. It's kind of like an elevated simple syrup.
Right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then Scotch, we've been talking about this, right? This is my year of like Scotch and bourbons and whiskeys. They're all very similar. It's still very hard for me to understand the difference. Please don't hate me. I know I have a cocktail podcast, but I'm still learning like the rest of us. And I think that for me, this is it's very boozy. And for me, I need it to be real cold. So I
Okay.
don't, but I also don't really want it to be watered down. The heat is really big for me lately. I'm really into the stuff that's kind of burny.
Okay.
So if you get like the Scotch rocks or the Scotch stones or the whiskey stones, they're called a bunch of different things, but you basically put them in the freezer and you wash them first. You put them in the freezer, they get really, really cold, and they will add um, some temperature, kind of temperate. It'll cool down your drink without it getting all watery. I like that. Because for me, I'm really trying to learn more and get really into the palate piece of Scotch versus whiskey versus bourbon, and like the peatiness versus the mossiness versus the smokiness versus just the burn that ends up happening inevitably when you got these high proof things. And so that I really like that
Okay.
part of
Yeah,
it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this one's really simple. I've only ever had I had a like a frozen rusty nail at Epcot when we were there a couple years back for our tour of the world. Had one of those. Those are really good. So yeah, give that a try. Let us know. I'm gonna put a link to this liquor.com article down in the show description. So let us know what your sign is. See what kind of cocktails you're getting up to, and then come Scorpio season, maybe we'll do a little recap on our explorations of scotches throughout the year. What were people getting up to this weekend? It was still Bob Marley, One Love led the way again. It's up to like $71 million. So apparently, whoever decided to hold back the Bob Marley film did a good job because, went on to make a bunch more money. Its time in the sun is coming to an end, I'm afraid to say, Mr. Bob Marley, because we've got a little film coming next week. It's coming in at a measly 2 hours and 46 minutes, but that is
Ooh.
Dune Part Two. Everything I have heard about Dune Part Two so far is that basically it makes Dune Part One looks like child's play. Very excited to see this. We have our tickets. You looking forward to going back? Desert Power, all that stuff, Michaela.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it for a number of reasons. First of all, Timothy Chalamet, Florence Pugh, Zendaya. Oh my gosh, there's
The list goes
the
on. Rebecca
Stars Guard.
Ferguson,
That's
Javier
one of the
Bardem,
Scars
Josh
Guard
Brolin,
kids, Josh Brolin, and
one of the Skarsgård kids, Stellan Skarsgård.
yeah.
He's by
Oh my
far
gosh,
the least
look,
of a kid of them.
look. No, he's
Christopher
well.
Walken, Dave Bautista, everyone is in the desert
Everybody's there. It's going to be
fighting
amazing. Look,
wars,
fighting wars, fighting sand.
fighting
There's a big
sandworms.
worm in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Did I mention Florence Pugh? Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's gonna be incredible. I haven't seen the first one since we covered the first well, Dune Part One, not the first Dune, but Dune Part One, a couple of years ago. So I'm really excited to get back into it and see what's happened, what the next chapter of the story is. If you've read Frank Herbert's Dune
Hmm.
or you've
Hmm.
seen the original from like 1974, um, I do feel that it needed to be a bigger than one movie. This is one time where I'm not mad that it's 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes. I feel that it's going to
Hmm.
do it
Hmm.
justice, because there are a lot of things that get glossed over in this 1,000-page epic novel, in the original film. And so I'm really excited to kind of dive into some of those tropes and story arcs that kind of got glossed over, and more of a love story too, because I feel like that was a
Hmm. Yeah.
huge part of
Hmm.
it. And they're basically like they were in love and her eyes were blue and it's great. And I'm like, no, we gotta dive in more than that.
That's right. That spice turns your eyes blue, apparently. So yeah, we're gonna be getting into all that. We're gonna be getting into it's the 40th anniversary of the original the Dune film there from 1984. We're going to be talking about that on our Patreon website again, patreon.com/drink the movies. If you want to get in on that bonus episode, that's going to be coming here in just another week or two, along with those Oscar picks. And we're going to be, like I said, letting everyone vote on what episode comes out next week. Last week we had Red Tails. That was a really fun conversation talking about that war film and the Tuskegee Airmen. Had a really fun cocktail to go with that one. But Michaela, what we need to do is now that we know that we're Scotch drinkers at heart by birth, I guess our birthright is Scotch. We need to go find ourselves a couple of really nice bottles of Scotch, make up a couple of cocktails, see what we think about those, take in like 17 hours of Dune content to get
Yes.
ready for our tickets this week. And
Yes to all that.
yeah, yes to all that. So
We're gonna
let's
do,
do that.
oh, you know what we should do? We should do a Scotch study. That's what we should do. We're gonna call it as like we're gonna have a Scotch corner here at Drink the Movies where we're gonna really do a deep dive where we're gonna
A
talk
Scotch
about the
hour.
differences. I love
Yeah,
it. Let's
I
do
love
it.
it.
Hey, maybe that's something that the Patreons would like.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
there you go. Absolutely. So, yeah, let us know what astrological sign you are in terms of your spirit there. If you have any good Scotch recipes, pass those our way and let us know what you think about Dune Part 2. So, with that, Michaela, let's head on out and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.